this comes out late, which it will.
Why do you have such little faith in me?
It needs to come out, Kieran. It needs to come out on the 11th of June 2020.
That's tomorrow.
No, it's not tomorrow. It needs to come out on Thursday, Kieran. On
Alright.
Thursday.
I will bet you. That was really fucking lame.
Woo! Hello and welcome to the We Only Do One Take podcast. It's the only podcast in the world that is a complete shit show.
And takes 3 days to recover from a party on the weekend.
I am Church, and with me is the co-host, the CEO, the seediest man to ever step foot in my house. It is Kieran. How are you, buddy?
Look, I feel like I am. It has been T plus. Sunday, Monday. What's today?
We're on Tuesday. Today.
Yeah, so it's been 3 days. I'm still fucking seedy. Like,
So to put things in perspective, people, it was my fiance's. I was trying to say that, but it's not really working. I was still saying. I was just calling her my wife and just skipping the whole fiance phase. It's easier.
Look, Church.
My wife.
Jess, you're married.
Yeah, I know, right? There you go. Finally,
As
you
the
did
power
it.
of the CEO of a podcast, I now
If only you owned a boat.
to Maryville.
If only you owned a boat.
International waters, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You know, and that way I can finally give in the tax return of the podcast. We had Jess's party. It was her big 21st birthday, and it was here. We could have all the people here, and we had our good friend making cocktails for us.
Shout out to Kane from Kane's Cocktails.
I don't know. He should just do that full time.
He should.
It's just amazing.
And I'm not sure if that's if he's got a business.
No,
or if that is business.
I just said I'd like you to come and help us out because the restaurant that he used to work at is closed.
Mm-hmm. It's not closed. That's not beat around the bush. Tough economic times.
Exactly right.
They've gone under.
And he said, "Yeah, I've got nothing else to do. As long as you pay for all the booze, I will do the cocktail making." And he made us a lot of cocktails. There was 20 people here, 15, 20 people here. The legal limit, according to the
You
state
actually
government.
had under
I did.
the legal limit.
That's right.
I had 2 cocktails that day. Actually,
You had more
3
than-
cocktails.
Yeah.
3
3 different types of cocktails.
There was 3 different types, but I had an espresso martini that
Yes,
Kane
yes.
made. But earlier in that day, I'd gone to a shopping centre.
Yeah.
A plaza, if you will. Not the Greensboro Plaza,
No.
but a different plaza. A precinct, you might call it. And went to a restaurant for lunch. I thought better stimulate the economy, better help these restaurants get back into business. And I had ordered a burger, and it was a really good burger.
Good.
But I'm not sure whether... the burger's a side point here, so don't let me get sidetracked here.
Yeah.
The burger was good.
I did see a picture of you.
Hang on, I'm getting there. The burger was good, right?
No sidetracking.
But I wasn't sure whether it was I just haven't been out to eat,
Yeah.
which made the burger really good.
Or it was a good burger.
Or it was a good burger.
Because even like an average burger's okay. Is like good.
Well,
It's like it's like sex and pizza. You
Oh.
know, if it's good, if it's great, if it's good, it's great. And if it's not that good, it's still pretty good. You know.
well, this burger was pretty good.
yeah.
And I ordered a espresso martini with it.
What a weird. Not a combination I would have had.
Well,
A beer and espresso, like a beer. I would have gone a beer, maybe a whiskey or something.
they only
like
had 4 choices of beer, and I live in Melbourne, which means I don't drink VB. I didn't feel like a furphy, and I don't know what the other 2 were. Probably
cut and draft.
4X Gold.
Yeah.
And I'm a craft beer man. I grow up in Melbourne, right? I'm spoilt with the craft beer. There was no craft beer. I would have liked a White Rabbit Dark Ale, actually.
That would have been good.
That would
Always
have
good
gone
with the
down.
beef, yeah.
But they didn't have that.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, I want alcohol, and I was tired. So,
So I need an upper and a downer in my drink.
yeah, that's not how I thought about it at the time. I thought I need an upper. So I got an espresso martini. It didn't even come with the 3 Coffee
Just coffee
beans.
beans.
It was so bad. But Cane's
On the money.
on the money. And he also did a drink called the Church. It was a little bit citrusy and something else. And he also did an old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Really good.
Amazing stuff. I don't know how he does it. It's like he just reads my mind of what I want to drink and how I want to drink it. And then he makes me a glass. I remember we started
He didn't light anything on fire, so I was a little bit disappointed. I would love to have seen something, drinks lit on fire.
like a flaming mo.
Yeah.
He didn't do, but he doesn't do cough syrup. That's his only downfall as a bartender. He needs to do the cough syrup next time.
Yeah.
What's it called? The drank. Purple drank.
Purple drank.
Purple drank. I need a bit of that.
Only 3 people listening to this podcast know what we're talking about when we say purple drank.
Well, you and Shaniqua can drink that all night long. What can I say? Kieran.
Yeah.
We did recover. It did take us we're old now. We're officially old.
Fuck me. I'm not sure whether this is this. No, I'm going to put it down to the coronavirus.
All right.
And lockdown.
Good.
Not old.
Yeah. Good. We just haven't drank consistently. And that's the hard bit.
And we partied to, well, do you know, I'm not sure if you know this, Church, but we were up for a party.
I know.
We were up for a party, and it was 4 a.m.
It was 4 a.m.
And we were still going strong.
Yeah.
And then some dickhead came along and told us to get the fuck out.
Yeah, because I'd been drinking since like 7 o'clock, cocktails, and then the last thing I saw was, all night I said to Jess, hey, I've got this bottle, I'm so sick of Fireball cinnamon whiskey. So sick of it. And I've had this bottle, I don't know, I must have bought it from my parents' house when I moved into here, and I've had that, and I've never been able to get rid of it, because like, after a while, it's fine to do shots, like, and just drink, and then suddenly, like, you just...
I want to put this into context, people. It's coming up to 4 a.m.
It's coming up to 4 a.m.
The party's going, but then someone, i.e. me, was like, let's do shots. That's the point where we were out for the party. We were like, yeah, we're hitting it strong again, and we're on to the shots. Like, we are ready to go. But and then...
You say that, then you guys poured a whole bunch of Fireball.
Two rounds.
Yeah, 2 rounds of Fireball. And after the second round, I saw everyone go, I think that was enough. Everyone's... Fireball, after a while, especially right at the end of the night, just makes everyone go, I'm great, and then just goes, ooh... Maybe not so.
You're probably good you stopped because I would have kept going.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Very lucky, because we were drinking for like 8 hours straight, like consistent, top shelf booze, all that sort of stuff. But
except for the Fireball.
Except for the Fireball, yeah. That was the cheapest alcohol on
that was sort of the equivalent of us getting kebabs at the end of the night. Sort of, not quite.
Yep.
But yeah,
You did well.
You've had a really good dinner then that night. Really good meat, but then at the end of the night, you still can't. You got to get a greasy kebab.
Yeah, just to clean the insides, and that way the toilet next day is full.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we next day on Sunday, I was out of it. Like I think you were too. I think we were all just messaging each other, and everyone's like seedy. But I saw on Netflix. Remember, I was complaining that I can't find anywhere to watch high definition Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Look, it's on the list. I also know that you can't find a lot of stuff on Netflix.
I know.
Like that Japanese game show.
I know.
Kumuchika or something.
MXC.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Takeshi's Castle, but it's not the same. Nonetheless, they finally put a Bugs Bunny movie. It's not Space Jam, sadly. It's one of the ones from the 1970s where it's all the classic, it's like the original artist, it's the original voice, it's real Mel Blanc, fantastic. I put it all in, I was like, yes, it's like an hour and a half of classic Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Jess had never really seen a lot of those classic Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Really?
Like, she'd never seen Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century, or Daffy Hood, or some of the... when they do the opera, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to sit here, we're going to watch it. It's lighthearted, it's easy. It's like 7-minute segments, so you don't have to pay attention. And I watch it, it's great. I'm like, oh, this is great. Great way to end my Sunday night. I think I'm nearly recovered, but I wasn't. And then on Monday, this is what I'm going to rant about. I read an article, and they're like, oh, Bugs Bunny's coming back. I'm like, oh, how good's this?
Wait, did you watch the Bugs Bunny
No, I did
on the
watch the
Sunday?
Bugs Bunny.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
but
fine.
this is
So
on
you've
the
got
Monday.
you've got no issue with the Sunday
No,
viewing.
this is the Monday.
viewing was good.
The viewing was fantastic.
Yeah.
Plenty of leg room. I had popcorn because
Yeah.
I needed something.
Flavored popcorn or
I make it myself. You know, I do the big batches of popcorn.
yeah.
and
So
something.
normal
Yeah,
popcorn,
yeah.
bit of butter, bit of salt.
That's all you need.
So none of this fancy.
You know what? Popcorn.
We live in Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's like we've got the craft beer, we've got the craft popcorn.
I just
You
need
didn't
butter.
craft it up.
I just need butter and salt. That's all I know. My popcorn.
Yeah, you're not doing like honeycomb popcorn or chocolate popcorn.
I think popcorn should be savoury.
Do you know what's really nice if you go to the movies, right, Hoyt's Village, and you get a bucket of popcorn, and then you open up a packet of like M&Ms
So you pour it in.
and pour it in.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. So anyway, I saw this article.
Sorry, the rant.
the rant.
We're on to the rant, people.
On a rant, and it says,
I got to get Church fired up for this rant.
Here we go. That's all, folks. New Looney Tunes will strip Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam of their rifles and pistols in response to US gun violence, but they will still get knives and TNT to hunt Bugs Bunny.
Wait, can't they just... I don't care what happens in America. They can have no guns in America, but I want the guns. I want the original version.
Yeah, exactly right. So we're not doing guns, but we can do cartoony violence. The producer confirmed, Peter, and said the new series will do cartoony violence like TNT. That means frustrated hunter Fudd will get a scythe to hunt Bugs Bunny. The series ends on HBO Max and premiered last week and features 200 cartoons. So,
But that's the thing. He's got the gun and he shoots and he misses.
it's imagine going, okay, we're going to depict a hunter
Yeah,
or a cowboy. And what's the first thing you think of?
a knife.
A knife.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
TNT.
You know what I think of when I'm looking at for a hunter?
Yeah.
Looking at a hunter, what I think of them using is something to cut wheat with. A scythe. That's what a hunter has. I've never seen a hunter with a weapon used to. It's like giving them like one of those.
Oh, and a safe space.
And a safe space, obviously,
Yeah.
because they don't, look. They've got to, they've got to get TNT, but it's like the MythBusters TNT. They've got to get this expert in to actually set it up. It's not like they can just roll it out. I don't get it. Like, I guarantee. Is there any correlation between watching Bugs Bunny cartoons with Elmer Fudd with a gun and anyone committing violence? This is like the same.
Did the version you watched, was it the original?
Yeah, it's like 1970
with the guns.
with the guns.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't have any Yosemite Sam, but it did have lots of. It had Duck Dodgers, which is my favorite one. And all that sort of stuff. So, and yeah, it did. It had Elmer Fudd. It had the Duck Season, Wabbit Season thing, which has the most amazing voice acting in the history of voice acting.
Yeah.
Do you know that one? Okay. So in that episode, Daffy Duck dresses up as Bugs Bunny and talks as Bugs Bunny. But you got to remember, Mel Blanc did all the voices.
Yeah.
So he did the voice of Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny, Tweety, Sylvester, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig. And a lot of the time he would just be in the studio and just keep talking.
Yeah.
So he was Daffy Duck pretending to be Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
So had to talk like...
With the lisp.
Yeah, with the list as Daffy Duck with a slight voice of Bugs Bunny. But then Bugs Bunny comes along dressed as Daffy Duck. So he had to talk as Daffy Duck.
As Bugs
Bunny.
Yeah.
Pretending to be Daffy Duck.
Wow.
Which, you can't even do your own voice properly sometimes. Like, when you're talking to people, let alone trying to be...
I know, right? It's really difficult to do that because I'm an accountant and, I use lots of numbers when I talk about this.
Perfect. Was that you doing a version of me doing you?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. But I just don't understand. Like, is you're the psychologist? I'm upset about this, obviously, because I'm like, they're ruining perfectly good things for the sake of nothing.
Yeah.
Because gun violence in America is bad.
So they're going to have to redraw them. Redo the scenes.
Well, all the new stuff. So the old stuff they're going to not touch.
Oh, so they're not touching the old stuff.
No.
All right.
But it's like The Simpsons.
I thought they were redoing the old stuff.
But it's like The Simpsons, right? Like all the episodes with the poo, they really don't show those anymore.
They should.
They should, because they're, great episodes.
They're really good
Because,
episodes.
he's a great character.
We've talked about this before.
We have, I know. But it's a similar sort of thing. It's like, okay, you can still watch them and find them here and there. But once they start phasing things out, it's like you're not going to see those anymore. You're going to lose that bit of history.
But it's also like, in The Simpsons, they've got Chief Wiggum, the stereotypical fat cop that eats donuts.
Yeah. I don't know, all these cartoons...
Chief Wiggum's my favourite character.
He's great.
Yeah.
But all these characters, these classic cartoon characters, are classic for a reason. It's because people can instantly relate to them. We talk about stereotypes being a bad thing, but when you're trying to get a message across about a character, and they have some sort of semblance of a stereotype as an underlying basis, you're going to divulge so much information strictly with just that. And it's very easy. Elmer Fudd's a hunter with a gun, and he wants to kill Bugs Bunny. And that's it. That's his whole... I understand this character, and that's only just a brief little
kids, they're not going to watch this. They're playing Fortnite, people, with their guns and the shooting and the lights and the woo-ha.
You know what? You say that. But what's going to happen is, one day we're going to have children.
Counter-Strike as well. They probably play Counter-Strike.
I played Counter-Strike back in the day.
I played Counter-Strike too.
But...
we could get our Ethernet.
Yeah, we're going to connect up
bring our computers, we can play.
That would be amazing. But...
Don't lose your thought, church.
Yeah. One day we're going to have children, right? And we're going to go, you know what? Back in the day, I used to watch The Simpsons. Just like parents used to introduce their kids to Star Wars. Like my parents introduced me to...
My kids are going to be watching The Simpsons.
Exactly right. And you're going to go, oh, here, look, I've got them on DVD, this archaic format, or they're on Stan or Netflix or something like that. Or Disney Plus,
Fuck it, they're going to be watching ads.
Yeah.
They're going to be watching ads.
Yeah.
Going to find the quality ads.
I'm starting to tape it, right?
Oh, that's what they should have on Netflix.
What?
30 minutes of ads.
Just ads.
Just the old ads.
I'd watch that.
I know, like
Classic
the ads. Because that's the exciting thing. We can go down to Phillip Island, we put in a VHS.
And
it's been recorded from the TV.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get the ads halfway, and
I just thought in the middle of the start of the films where you see all those trailers, and you wouldn't steal a car, you wouldn't download a car, you wouldn't do all those other ones where they're at the video shop and they're watching, and as the ratings go up, they're covering the eyes of the children and all that. Classic.
Did you say download a car?
Yeah. Have you ever seen that meme?
Nah.
It's like you wouldn't steal a car, and then someone changed it. You wouldn't download a car, and someone's like, "Fuck it, I would if I could. I would if I could."
Right.
But you're going to show these videos of Simpsons to your kids, and your kids are going to go, "Why did
with ads?
They're not going to know because you're not going to be able to find the episodes with a poo in it.
Do you know? Fuck it. I've got a rant now.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've got a rant. Futurama's not on Stan.
Yes,
Netflix.
it's not. We said the same thing on Sunday. We wanted to watch Futurama. It's not anywhere.
Do you know who has Futurama?
Disney Plus?
My fucking housemate. DVD form.
Oh.
All the DVDs.
He's
been holding out.
I have them all on DVD as well, but they're at my parents' house, so I don't have a DVD player here.
You need like a PlayStation or something. Actually, and this is the thing, because I said to him, I go, I'll get the DVDs and we'll just convert them. We'll, convert this, and it was like, none of us have a fucking CD drive with our computers anymore.
You're going to buy an external DVD player to plug into your computer to...
I was like, fuck, when did that happen?
Yeah.
That got phased out.
Because we're just all cloud-based. And this is what I mean, like with all these... I've been watching Cinemassacre. Do you know who the Angry Video Game Nerd is at all? Internet celebrity.
I'm shaking my head, people.
Internet celebrity. He's been doing videos since like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and till today he's still reviewing terrible video games. And now he's doing like a film review series. But he's a collector of VHS and old video games. But big thing on VHS, big movie guy, right? Studied film, did all that.
VHS quality on Netflix.
Yeah,
with the
I
ads,
want that.
With the ads. How good would that be?
I want
Imagine
that.
The Castle.
I want that.
The movie The Castle.
We have the VHS
version, but you go onto Netflix,
Oh.
but you get the VHS quality with sometimes the lines go
Yeah.
across. Oh.
Bit of that filter, that
Yeah,
nice filter.
yeah.
It feels homely. I don't know what it is about it.
Uh-huh.
But he collects all these things, and he's like, oh, this film only came out on VHS and has never had like a DVD release, or never had, or they did a big box set of everything, and they were all just the original versions. And he's like, oh, I've got the original versions of Star Wars without all the edits that Lucas made later on.
Right.
Or I've got this film that was like, that he's got Mac and Me on VHS. So he's got this and that, and he goes, oh, all these films, they had to print lots and lots of films, or they made lots more B, like on Netflix, even the B films are like expensive to make. But back in the day, they used to make money on films by just like making cheap films, $100,000, $200,000, whatever, $1 million nowadays, and just shoving them into like Blockbuster, and putting up cool posters, having 2 or 3 copies, and people rent them. And now you can't do that. Like Netflix will go, yeah, you're greenlit, but it doesn't matter if people watch it or not, because they could just take it off whenever. And it's, same with VHS. Sometimes you can't find things.
Do you know what film I watched the other day?
What did you watch the other day?
My stepfather said, come on over. I said, okay. We've sort of been doing some movie nights. I introduced them to Casino last month.
Great film.
Great film. My mum and stepfather. Anyway, he's gone, come over again.
Is it tits in that film?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the strip clubs. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the female lead in that?
Sharon Stone.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the... Yeah. Woo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But he said, all right, I've picked a film, Cabaret.
I've never seen Cabaret.
It's a 1968 film with Liza Minnelli.
Okay.
It's her first lead
okay.
role in a film. Now, I would have never have ever picked this film. Ever.
Yeah.
Would never have ever picked this film. And in a way, I'm really glad he did, because it was about the war, about after World War One, between World War One and World War Two, and it was really, really insightful to go, fuck me, after World War One, Germany was really risque. Like, all these cabaret clubs, sort of slash strip clubs, slash everyone's having a really good time and drinking. And apparently people from around Europe, it wasn't called Germany, it was called something else. Weimar or Weimar or something. But people travelled there for the fun.
Yeah.
Sort of a bit like Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Right? But they were having so much fun that they missed Nazis rising.
Interesting.
Like, they missed that whole... And it's this really interesting story of, like, these people are having fun and the smart ones get out because they can see what's happening. But everyone else is just so self-absorbed having fun. They miss the fact that, the Nazis are rising and they're sort of about to take over, and that they're too liberal.
Are you telling me that... You telling me that the Jews aren't smart?
No. I'm just describing the film. Anyway,
they in Hollywood.
It's a film. It's a film with so many levels.
Yeah. Never seen it. The only time I've ever seen Liza Minnelli is with photos with Michael Jackson.
Right.
And she's on RuPaul's Drag Race every so often.
Right.
Because she's still alive, apparently.
Well, there you go. But also the way it was filmed, or the way it was. Because remember, like, this is 1968 filming.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, this is pretty impressive.
Would
I watch it again? No. Would I watch Casino again? Absolutely.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a big distinction between... One thing I wish films would stop doing is shaky cam. When did that become a staple in films? Like, an action scene. And back in the day, action scenes, they used to feel like it's straight, and then all the action would happen, and it wasn't the camera going, like, shaky up and down that made it look busy. It was because it actually was busy.
I fucking hate all the CGI crap.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it may be because they're implementing the CGI as much as they are today. And it's only they can get away with the look of the CGI with the shaky cam.
I don't know. Go back to classic films. Sort of, in a way. Casino, really great fucking film.
I want another Space Jam. That's...
Space Jam with fucking Bill Murray. Absolutely.
Look at that film. It had Bill Murray. Why was he there? I don't know. And then Wayne Newman. Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight, yeah.
Newman was there. And the amount of product placement.
Yeah.
I just remember, I was like, come on, we're going to go down to McDonald's and get yourself a Big Mac and put on your Nikes. It's like, what the hell's going on? That's how they paid for this film.
Product placement.
Oh.
Michael Jordan product placement.
I'm all for the product placement. Like, I watched Mac and Me. Have you ever seen Mac
No.
and Me? It's the film that they made about, like, Mac is meant to be like a burger, like McDonald's, but it's about an alien, and they just copied E.T.
Right.
But Mac stands for like something. Like it stands for something, but it's basically an ET clone. But right at the end, there's a big dance scene at McDonald's. It's amazing. I'm gonna show you it later.
All right, Well, yeah, absolutely.
Kieran, you got some news for us?
I do. U.S. military could lose Space Force trademark to Netflix series. Now, if you're not aware, Space Force is Donald Trump's new arm of the military.
Yeah.
The Space Force. If I'm correct, they did that, and then Netflix went, "Fuck it, we're going to put together a TV series."
Yeah, basically.
Called Space Force on Netflix. Haven't watched it.
No, I haven't watched it. I saw an ad for it. I'm like, nah, not for me.
It's got
It's got Steve Carell in it.
Steve Carell.
Yeah,
That's right.
He's fun. I just watch all of The Office, the American version. It's great. Not as good as the English one, though. The English one's a bit more what's his name? Ricky Gervais. He's just... there's something about him. There's something about him where they play two different distinct...
I like
Office.
that. I like how they're not trying to be The Office
Yeah.
UK and The Office US.
Well, they couldn't...
They're not trying to be like the same.
But you know what?
They've got their own.
The UK Office in... what was it, 12 episodes? Said more to me about the characters than like 3 seasons of The Office US.
Yeah.
You know...
Quality over quantity.
Oh, it's like Black Books.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's just 18 episodes of just pure comedy the whole time. But then again, you got Bill Bailey and Dylan Moran in one show. It's just, it's like going, yeah, let's put Tim Vine, like the sketch show back in the day. Remember that?
Yeah.
And with Tim Vine and Kinney Flanagan, she joined the ranks. Amazing comedy. But Space Force,
The United States Space Force was only announced 2 years ago and is yet to engage in any military operations. But the latest branch of the US Armed Forces already stands to lose its first battle to Netflix Space Force. The streaming service premiered its new sci-fi comedy series on May 29. The show's name has no relation to the newest organisation of the US military, which unveiled its official flag only 2 weeks earlier. Because of the common moniker, though, the United States Space Force first battle might be a trademark war, which I think Netflix will win.
Yeah. They just change it to something else.
That's fucking hilarious, though.
Yeah.
They're going to do a whole rebrand.
Well, it's not like anything's really like they haven't got uniforms or anything like that.
They do have uniforms.
Oh, they do.
They look like the Air Force.
Oh, well, it's just an extension of it. I'm sure. They're just going to pump a whole bunch of astronauts every so often onto a SpaceX rocket and fly them up to the International Space
I'm really
Station.
excited about Space Force.
That's fun.
Because you can see what it's going to become.
Remember we weren't alive, but 1980s, Ronald Reagan said, we're going to develop Star Wars. Do you know anything about Star Wars? Okay, so he said... Because that was like during... Like Russia was still going to fly rockets over and kill Americans, stuff like that. So Reagan's just like, we're going to put together Star Wars. And what Star Wars was a bunch of satellites over the US and this and that, and would detect incoming missiles and shoot high-powered beams to blow the missiles up in space.
Provided the missiles went up into space.
Okay, there's a whole bunch of issues, but that was the whole idea of it. Like this cool, we're going to shoot lasers at missiles.
So missiles don't always have to go up into space.
Yeah, but if you're going to go from the USSR into America, you probably have to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
But
with you there.
myriad of problems, nonetheless. But the same says the idea was that we're going to put something in space to shoot down the USSR missiles.
I like it.
Russian missiles. It's the same sort of premise, like Star Wars, but he called it Star Wars after Star Wars. So I'm sure they didn't win the trademark logo then at all. Do you know, have you ever watched on Netflix, speaking of Star Wars, it's called The Toys That Made Us?
No.
It's a show like that, and they go through like all these toys, like big brand, like Power Ranger
Buzz
toys.
Lightyear.
No, like Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, He-Man, toys and all, and how they made them, like how they developed them, how they marketed them. Very, like even the Star Trek toys that go
What's
through.
it called?
The Toys That Made Us.
The Toys That Made Us.
I got into it because I saw Mighty Morphin Power Ranger toys. I'm like, okay, I have to watch that because it's my favourite childhood thing. And yeah, they did like a whole thing on Star Wars. And apparently, like, they didn't know, like, they went to this small company to make the toys. And usually it's like a 25 or 30-70 split where 30% of the money earned from the toys goes to the franchise holder, and the rest of the money goes to the organization actually making the toys. And
well, they've got to pay their employees, the factory costs, all that stuff. Yeah,
and develop IP.
Yeah.
The initial discussion...
It's like Coca-Cola. When you buy a Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
let's say the Coca-Cola costs $1, 25 cents actually goes to Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
75 cents goes to the actual distributor in
exactly.
Australia, wherever, to
franchise. So anyway, in the initial discussion, they whittled Lucas down to like 4%.
Wow.
So they were making so many toys, and during Christmas one year, they didn't have enough toys at all, so they sold people IOUs saying on Christmas Day you would get them, to give them like a 2-month lead time, but they had to develop all of these toys.
Wow.
And they sold so many, and they did it for a while, and then they decided, and they got bought out by another company. And the whole thing was, as long as they paid Lucas like 20 grand or 25 grand a year minimum, they could keep the ability to keep making the toys. And this new company didn't know about that rule in the contract and lost the contract.
Oh my god.
So when he got around to, hey, we're going to make a new Star Wars, this was like 3 or 4 years after, we're going to make a new Star Wars, and the company's like, great, we're going to get 90%. It's like, you don't have the contract now. And he was able to go to the big boys, and
do you know what? Do you know what in that story? The little guys got greedy.
Yeah.
They got greedy.
Well, they didn't know. No one knew when everyone thought Star Wars was going to be a flop. Even Lucas, he's like, oh, we have to make toys just in case.
Yeah.
Same as the Star Trek stuff. Like, no one expected Star Trek to get as big as it was, or anything like that.
Yeah, but they got greedy. They got greedy, and that's why they got fucked over. Because I'm sure if they looked after him, he would have stayed. Maybe.
Well, no, because they had the contract, and the contract was on the terms of, this is a new IP with no pre-existing things, with nothing else, and we're doing all the heavy lifting. And they were they had the Luke and Leia toys in the basic set, and like the Death Star and the Millennium Falcon, and a guy there actually made, like, he was an intern, and they said, do you want to design this thing? And he's like, yeah, and he designed the Millennium Falcon.
Wow.
You're going to watch it.
All right.
It's a good TV show.
I feel like this is just, this is us talking about Netflix, this
Sounds
podcast.
a little bit like that. And let's go on a different direction. I just like this. We could just like dissect this a little bit.
Okay.
Detroit. Mm-hmm. This is only a couple of days ago. Rabid prostitute. Tell me when this gets...
What is a rabid?
Like, rabies.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Okay, so a prostitute who has rabies. All right.
Was shot dead by police. Mm-hmm. Okay, a bit topical. But autopsy reveals 12 chewed off penises in her stomach. Okay, so we're... An autopsy of a sex worker killed by officers...
Well, I'm still digesting.
Well, she's too.
Just read out that headline again.
Yeah, sure. Detroit. Rabid prostitute shot dead by police.
Well, pause there. Okay. We've got to figure out why.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
We'll go through it. Autopsy.
Yeah.
Because they needed an autopsy.
Uh-huh.
Reveals 12 chewed off penises in her stomach.
Okay.
Okay, good. An autopsy of a sex worker killed by officers of the Detroit Police Department last week. She was white, by the way. You can see the picture of her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. Last
I
week
can
revealed
confirm
some astonishing and disturbing fact. Not only was she infected with rabies, but she had the remains of at least a dozen human penises in her digestive system.
That's 12.
That's 12. At least a dozen. At least. 47-year-old Loretta Monroe was tased repeatedly before being shot 17 times by the
Whoa,
police.
back up. Back up. 17. What the fuck was she doing to be shot 17 times? 17 times means you've got to be fucking doing something really fucking stupid.
The officers involved had justified the intervention, saying Monroe was extremely aggressive and violent and looked like she was possessed by a demon. The result of her autopsy revealing this morning could provide the explanation for the 47-year-old's behaviour. Miss Monroe suffered from a severe case of rabies causing anxiety, hallucinations, paranoia, and abnormally aggressive behaviour. The autopsy also shed some light on Miss Monroe, perceived as many as an innocent victim of police brutality, gave a new direction to the investigation. The remains of at least 12 partially digested human penises were found in her stomach.
Okay, all right.
Leading for at least a dozen potential victims. That's some real science there.
Your body... So if you eat something, your body, with the acid and the stuff in its stomach, breaks it down.
The medical examiner says the penises were at most 48 hours old. She ate a dozen in 2 days, which means she could have eaten 1,000 or more over the last year.
Are they human penises?
Yes. Yeah, we are trying to determine the real number of victims and locate them. It's possible. What are they going to do? Sew them back on?
Oh my god.
It's possible she may have struck in another city or state before arriving in Detroit, and that some men died before reaching hospital. Amazing. Amazing.
What the fuck?
Yeah. While many had rapidly condemned the police officers for their unjustified brutality, today's revelation suggests they may have actually put an end to a series of horrible cannibalistic crimes.
That just raises so many fucking questions.
So she gets rabies. So I'm gonna say I don't think she bit off over 1,000 penises.
No.
But I'm gonna say that she obviously got rabies, continued her job, and was obviously giving blowjobs.
Obviously.
And just went, next, run away.
Oh my god.
This 47-year-old woman.
I was going to say, because they had to be relatively fresh, because your body, like, your acid and the stuff breaks that stuff.
48 hours maximum inside the stomach. What a whirlwind.
And now there's people not only they don't have a dick, but they probably have rabies.
So this person had rabies, was tased a bunch of times, still went crazy, and got shot 17 times. Far out. She almost had many penises in her.
She would have been to get shot 17 times. I wonder how many cops fired at her.
Oh look, at least the black cop, what's his name, James Craig here. He shot her. And yeah,
Well,
she's a bigger woman.
Talking about things that are in your stomach. A man put a cell phone charger up his penis. It got stuck in his bladder and had to be removed by surgeons. Turch, what have you put up your penis?
Nothing.
Yeah, same.
Nothing. I put things on my penis. Hold on.
But nothing.
That's what you do. You looked at me weird there for a second.
No, I thought you were going somewhere. I was like, wait, you've actually put something in your penis? Like, what?
No. No Prince Albert in a can on this side of the microphone.
Obviously, if you had to wear a catheter for hospital reasons,
No,
right?
I never. Actually,
No, I'm not saying you have, but I'm saying that's you're in hospital,
I've peed a lot in jugs.
right?
At the hospitals.
You know,
That's the worst. Have you ever done that in the hospital?
What?
Peed in a jug?
I've never been in hospital.
Oh, you
I've only ever
haven't?
been as a visitor.
That's
Touch
true.
wood, touch wood.
That's wood, right?
There we
There you go. Yeah, no. At the hospital when I broke my leg, because I couldn't really get up and down, because so they gave me a jug, and I think it was like after a bunch of time, like they drugged me and this and that. was the first time I peed, I filled it up. And it's like this big jug, like a litre jug.
Good on you. Well done.
And then I think I called for the nurse a bunch of times, but Jess came first, and I'm like, hey, you can do something. Can you do something for me? Anyway, we're getting married.
I'm gonna add that to the story list.
I'm pretty sure that it's either her or my mum. It was a woman.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a nurse. Add it to the story.
Let's not get bogged down in details.
No details here.
Right, let's not do that. No, never been in hospital. Only as
Amazing.
a guest. If I'm ever in hospital,
As a guest. Please welcome to the ward. It's Kieran.
Nurses fucking hate me in hospitals. All right, they're trying to do a job. So
Excuse me, I'm a doctor. Yeah, have you ever seen that episode of Frasier?
Yeah.
And Niles is getting a heart surgery.
no.
Is getting heart surgery, and Frasier's done all this research, and it's like, this is the best doctor who does heart surgery. Oh, we're gonna do this. Frasier's like, really? You're gonna do that over this? He's like, it's okay. And then everyone's just telling Frasier off.
Yeah.
You're Frasier. Anyway, what were you saying?
Family friend in his 70s was in hospital, and he really likes wine. And I turned up. It was sort of like dinner time to visit him. And then obviously the nurse was there. And I'm like, hi, Pat, how you going? And he's like, oh, all right. I said, don't worry, I'll bring up the wine now for your dinner. And the nurse just looked at me like, you can't do that. I was like, look at him. He's struggling. He can't survive. He's got no will to live.
He's got no kidneys, but that's okay. We're here with the wine.
They obviously don't know I'm joking.
Yeah.
I've told about the panic attack story, right? Me turning up. Have I not told you this?
Oh, is this about Niall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I told you this?
Yeah, you complained, you did a rant on the show that there was no good coffee at the...
Oh, I didn't actually tell you what happened.
Okay.
Did I just rant about the no good coffee?
about no coffee!
Which there wasn't. I've got to put this in context.
Please.
Because this is epic.
Something.
I'm working with a client, and my phone had probably rung about 5 or 6 times, and it was Niall. And this client that I had, who was a teenager, was having like a meltdown. And so I pick up the phone and I'm like, what? And Niall's like, I'm on my way to the hospital. And I went, good. And I hung up the phone. And there was good reason that I
fucking calling you.
No, there was good reason because this client that I had picked up a chair and was about to hit me.
A chair?
A chair.
Oh,
I told you, he was having a fucking meltdown.
WWE style.
Yeah. So I was like, and I heard I'm on my way, which means you're probably in a fucking ambulance. What can I do? Like, sorry, right now I'm dealing with other shit.
Yeah.
Like, let me just deal with that. Anyway, after that, I ring back, no answer. I ring back, no answer. I ring back, no answer. Niall says at that point he was actually in an Uber, because that's what you do. You get an Uber to take you to hospital. Who was like, that fucking bastard? He fucking hung up on me. Anyway, I sort of couldn't get through. And I was trying to ring his dad, and I was trying to ring his brother, and I sort of couldn't get through. And I was like, where the fuck would he go? All right, he's going to the Austin Hospital. That's where he lives. He's probably going to go there. I'll make my way to the Austin Hospital, like a good friend. Anyway, I get to the Austin Hospital. I'm hungry. It's dinner time. I'm a bit hungry. And my training kicks in. Self-care, church. Self-care. How can I be a good friend if I'm hungry and starving? So
No wonder you're not a good friend.
So I went to the cafeteria and I got myself some dinner. It wasn't great,
No.
but it's hospital cafeteria. Can't do...
Not much you can do.
Not,
It's the best you can do at the time.
and I ordered a coffee and it was terrible. Wasn't too happy. And I'm like, we're in Heidelberg. There's the fucking thing. Maybe I'll go down and get a coffee. And I walked my way to an ER. And I saw all these fucking people there. And I went, oh, fuck this. I'm going to go get a coffee.
Yeah.
I walked down to the street. And then Niall's father is like, Kieran. And I was like, oh, shit. Anyway, we make our way into ER. So now I see Niall. He's there. He's
okay.
He's on the bed. He's got the gown. There's stuff hooked up to him. I'm like, that's looking very good. Anyway. Oh, sorry. This is what I said, because the doctor's with him, right? The doctor's with him. And she was this Scottish girl, right? And he's there. And the first thing I say to him, because I knew this would cheer him up. I knew it would cheer him up. I go to him, wait, what's What's the point? You're not adding any value to this friendship. Why am I even here? Right, and the doctor just looked at me in disgust. Like, how dare you say that to
How'd
this?
the nurse take that?
Oh, the nurse wasn't there. Sorry, this was the doctor.
I thought you said she was like this. You know, it was like, oh, the Scottish nurse. You don't tell me about the nurse until you're like, oh, she's hot. And she was nurse. Oh, I thought I'd get a joke. I'd get a joke out of Niall. Not only that, also pick up the nurse.
Yeah.
But the nurse was not there.
No, I forgot the nurse doctors, they're like the same. But this doctor in ER that was looking
That's
after,
a really bump up for nurses and a real downgrade
Right.
for doctors.
she fucking hated me since I said that, right? I think she hated me because somehow we managed to get into the ER area.
Right.
Yeah, like the charm we have to get in.
Where's the coffee? You just walked in.
So anyway, I then go, right, Niles, he's hooked up to the bed. I need a coffee. This could be an all-nighter. Don't know how long I'm going to be here. So I'll text my brother, paramedic, works at this hospital. He's got to know a good coffee place around here. So I text him. Niles in hospital. Anyway, where can I get a good coffee? And so my brother's texting me back saying, is he hooked up to the machine? Take a photo. And I was like, no. You didn't answer my question. I need to get a coffee. Like, he's fine. Just, you work here. You're a paramedic. Where do I go? Like, Titch, I don't think you understand. It's nighttime. The places are going to close soon.
I'm
going to have to go to a fucking restaurant, not a fucking coffee shop, a restaurant who serves coffee to their patrons
I get
the takeaway coffee. Do you understand the fear that was going through my mind at this point?
You make your life so much harder than it has to be.
What do you mean?
Because, you know what? Hey, you could have messaged your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going, hey, my mate's in hospital. Here's a photo of him.
Mm-hmm.
I need to buy the family coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have just gone, oh, go to this place and then tell me about your friend.
Yeah, that would have been a really good point.
You've made your life so much harder because you're like, I need coffee because I'm at the hospital because my friend's here, and your brother's gone, whoa, wait a second. Being the paramedic, the person like a person as a healthcare professional with training to help other people, like you have. Mm-hmm. He's gone.
Yeah, and my training kicked in. Self-care first. Self-care, then you can help.
Sometimes, even in these dire situations, you've got to think, how can I manipulate to get things what I want? You're still self-helping.
No one has ever said that before. Anyway, I did take a selfie and it was fine. And anyway,
I know, because I think you were meant to meet us out for drinks somewhere. And
Probably.
I just got this photo of you and Niall like really angry, and you going like this with a coffee.
The thumbs up, yeah. So anyway, the doc comes back in later. Says they done the test, yada yada yada. Anyway,
So what did Niall have in him?
well, it turned out to be probably a panic attack,
Okay.
right? So the doctor says, it's not. We've done the stress stuff, yada yada yada. It's not anything physical with you. You've probably had a lot of stress in your life recently, so this is probably more in line with I think she said, psychosomatic.
Yeah.
And that's the point where I'm like, I've got it from here, doc.
I'm in charge.
And she just
I actually am a doctor.
she just fucking hated me.
Did you have your doctorate at this point?
It was so close.
Yeah, it was so close.
So close. Yeah.
So she's still outranked you. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I actually think I did at this point. I think I'd actually finished, but it just hadn't been conferred.
So no.
Don't you get black and white on me?
Either yes or no.
Yes.
Did you pass your driving test? Well, what's happening is they're tallying up the votes as we speak.
They've got to just send
Have you got it or not?
They're just going to send the license in the mail.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the thing. I just had to get it in the mail.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how you get a PhD.
Yeah.
You go to those online courses, you pay $50, you get a piece of paper, and you hang it on your
That's
wall
right.
here.
That's right.
I hung it on my wall.
So
So what was in that gentleman in the story?
anyway, the point is, I got a coffee. Niall was okay. The doctor fucking hated me, and we continue on with our lives. So if you're ever in an emergency, church, please call me. Please.
Okay.
I will help.
You know what, though?
What?
You're the worst.
Why?
You once called Jess, and Jess didn't pick up the phone. She was like, then messaged her saying it's an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jess picked up the phone and said, Kieran, are you okay? And you're like, yeah. Blade and Niall and I got a keg of beer, but we don't know how to tap it. How do we do that? And Jess looks at me and he's like, I think did she hang up on you in the first time?
I don't know. I
feel like it was
probably
something like that. Anyway, speaking
How
of,
was that not an emergency?
seeing as Niall actually was going to the hospital and you hung up on him.
Mm-hmm. But he said, I'm on my way. I was getting a chair thrown at me.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, the article. So, an Indian man who went to hospital with abdominal pain had inserted a mobile phone charger cable into his penis. A doctor who treated him told CNN.
A Doctor Who?
A Doctor Who.
And he went into his TARDIS.
The man visited a hospital in northeastern India last month, claiming he had ingested some earphones. Rule number one, if you go into hospital for whatever fucked up thing that you've done.
Superpower 2020.
Right. Whatever fucked up thing you've done. Don't tell them the wrong thing, because they're going to fucking find out. Just get over the humiliation.
But even that one there, he's gone through his head. Right? And he's gone, okay, so I've inserted a cable into my dick. Into the pee hole. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't know. That's not even where the prostate is. I didn't get that, right? That's fine. Maybe he wanted his dick hole bigger so he could pee faster. I don't know what the...
Increase the flow.
Yeah. Open up the passages, right?
Yeah.
And then he's gone, my dick really hurts, but I don't want to tell them it's my dick. Let me think of another story. Like, my stomach hurts. That's a good idea. I'll tell them my stomach hurts because I swallowed headphones.
Now, why did I swallow headphones? No, I don't need to think of that.
There's like so many layers and all of them are wrong. There was no good... we just watched a documentary on the kids that do the spelling bee.
Oh, yeah.
In America. And apparently for the last 25 years, Indian Americans, not like Native American Indians, but like the dot ones. Not the
American Indians.
Not the ones, the dot ones.
Yeah.
But the
Indian Americans.
Indian Americans are dominating 25 years in a row. And I think last year, 8 children got to completed the whole thing. And they said, no, we can't go, that's it. This is where we stop. You're all winners, all 8 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they're talking about all the families, why did you come to America? It's there was opportunity here. I could be a doctor. I had a doctor degree and they needed more doctors. And during the laws, it's like Australia. If you're a doctor or an engineer or something like that, something that the economy could use, you get basically you can migrate here and get an American or Australian citizenship, And it was the same like that in the 1980s, 1970s, 1980s, that sort of thing. So a lot of these Indian men, women, and couples came over. And I'm like, what's left in India are the gentlemen who decide to put a plug up his dick and go to a hospital and says that I swallowed headphones.
I was wondering where the fuck you were going with this.
It's a bit long-winded, my apologies.
No, I haven't finished. He came to us after 5 days, and if you're running, because I hear some people run to this podcast, you might want to just walk for this. He came to us after 5 days, and despite passing stools several times, the cable did not come out. When they conducted an endoscopy, how do you say it?
Endoscopy?
Endoscopy, that's it. But still couldn't find anything. As the patient complained of severe pain, we decided to perform surgery and found that there was nothing in his intestine.
Wait a second, though. So that means he got the whole cable into his dick?
Yeah, here's the cable rod. See?
No. That worries me even more. Because, okay, when you're trying to thread a needle, right, and you try to put it through, you just don't... When you got the hole and you put the thread through the needle, you just don't keep pushing it from one side. You drag it from the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's obviously got that needle into his dick, number one, and that thread through his dick, number one, and two, continuously pushed it into his dick.
Yeah.
What's that look like? At least 15 to 20 centimeters, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a short piece of cable. And he just pushed it through. So there must have been a point where he's in his head gone, this is not good. Then he's obviously gone, okay, because if they've done an endoscopy, he would have to pull down his pants.
Yeah.
So they would have seen his dick. And there wasn't like a cable dropping out of his dick, I'm just assuming. Mm-hmm. So that means he must have got something else to continue to push the cable up his urethra to hide it. Mm-hmm. All of this makes it additional confusion.
Oh, yeah.
Did this person have rabies and saw a lot of dicks as well? Or no, they did the endoscopy and he didn't poo any out, I guess.
It was at that point an X-ray. So they didn't do the X-ray before. Because he was only complaining of stomach pain. Revealed the man had a 2-foot-long charging cable in his bladder.
2 feet? Yeah. 2 feet is 60 centimeters.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right? No. 12 inches.
Look, let's not get bogged down in details.
It's 24 inches. What's that? It's like 60. Is that... Continue. I'm going to work out how long.
All right. Inserted via his urethra, the tube that leads from the penis to the bladder. Then I made an incision there and took out the cord, which was actually a charging cable over 2 feet long. If he'd been honest, then he would have saved us the trouble and we could have treated him sooner. The patient has been discharged and is fined according.
Okay,
and is fined.
2 feet is 60 centimeters.
60 centimeters. Fuck.
This is what I mean. Where does the point in your brain go, I'm going to stop? Amazing.
The doctor said, I have read that people used to get sexual gratification by inserting instruments through the penis. This is one such case, and the psychiatrist can help him beyond this point.
I don't think I could top that. You know, there's only 2 other articles. I'm going to do a quick whip around.
All right.
This is what I found. Alicia Silverstone, remember she was in the Batman... The worst Batman film?
Yeah.
Batman and Robin, is that the one? With Mr. Freeze? With Mr. Freeze and... I'm
not going to lie. Generally, when I go to those films...
Yeah. It's like the 90s ones, though.
I take a flask.
Yeah. It's got George Clooney
and then get it like a large Coke.
Coke and just pour it
in. And then sit there with the reclining chairs and... Yeah.
Well, Alicia Silverstone reveals that she still takes baths with her 9-year-old son.
Baths?
Baths.
As in, like...
A bath.
I'm dirty, I need to go take a bath?
Yes. 9-year-old son.
Right, okay.
We discussed this yesterday with Jess, and I go, when would you stop having baths with your child?
I feel like a 2 and a 3-year-old... No, but then you can have a shower together,
Jess said something interesting to me, like, I go, bath. And she goes, if you're an adult mother, you don't hop in the bath with your child.
No, they sort of let their... I know you've done that. I know the shower happens.
Yeah, the shower's fine.
The shower happens, and that's like a 2 and a 3 and a 4-year-old.
And then you sort of go, you know what? You could probably shower yourself.
And I'm going to be in the bathroom, but you're in the shower.
Yeah, help out.
Or I'm going to put you in the bath, but I'm sort of near you.
Yeah. You're not in the bath or the shower. And look, I'm not a rich person. Maybe she has a Olympic swimming pool size bath. But still, it's a 9-year-old child. Mm-hmm. Son. Mm-hmm. And Alicia Silverstone's not even that hot. And this is the other one I found. Spanish porn star Nacho Vidal, who likes to advertise his aromatic candles shaped like male genitalia on Twitter, has been arrested on manslaughter charges following a man's death during a mystic ritual in which he inhaled psychedelic toad venom. This lockdown is doing things to people.
People are bored.
People are very bored.
People need to do things. They need to experiment.
Well...
Like putting a 2-foot, 60-centimetre charging cable.
I wonder how much how would they even do social distancing in India?
I don't know.
You know?
Oh, we've got a Moog. A Moog could tell us.
That's true. He's social distancing in Bangladesh. Not Bangladesh. Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Yeah.
It's not the same as Bangladesh.
Well, speaking of podcasts
Yeah.
in the future,
Podcasts of the future.
We had Amugon last week, and
Go check out the Flat Earth
amazing
podcast
show.
last
Amazing
week.
show. I learnt so much. I enjoyed myself so much. And more things to think about, right? But we had a message from a very close friend of the show, from James from Sydney. And he messaged me going, and this is what he said: if you want a globe Earth expert, aka a regular scientist, to debate that guy next time he's on, I'm a nuclear engineer / physicist, and I could have refuted all those arguments in inverted commas on the spot, including that cold moonlight one. I'm obsessed with their flat Earth idiots. Now,
Number one, I didn't know James was actually that smart. I just assumed that he lived in Sydney, so he was quite dumb.
Okay. I'm just amazed that we have fans that he's like
A nuclear
a physicist and want to come on the show to yell at flat Earth people. That's, for me, sometimes things just work. An old fan, and you know what, James? It's absolutely a yes. I hope you got the message that I sent back to you, but it's an absolutely yes. You can come on the show. You can even be the CEO for a day.
Oh, no.
It's like when you take your child to work. It's like, oh, he's the principal for the day. It's like that type of thing. But absolutely,
He can be acting CEO.
assistant to the managing director.
Junior vice president.
Yeah. What's the one? Producer. What's it called? Assistant producer or something like that. Woo!
Yay!
Come on, Kieran. One more.
All right, can't you just fire me? Man paid to do nothing wanted $2 million.
That's good. That's good.
An executive was paid about $18,000 a month.
Wait a second. Is this you? We only do one take podcast.
Look, quickly.
Show the book.
Was paid $18,000 a month, was an executive. Merger happened, wanted...
Amazingly, the CFO said that we had no money.
I'm done.
I'm done. That's enough of this show. Thank you very much, Kieran.
And if you're running, because apparently I just found out before we did this podcast, and this is the second time I'm saying it,
Yeah.
but some people run to us. I hope you have finished your running, because we're about to end the show.
Well, you could just listen to another show. Another episode of our show.
No, that's it. They can't. That's it. It's an hour
We're
podcast.
done. That's it.
It's an hour podcast. You get an hour run.
And for all your wanking needs, make sure you follow us on Sound. Imagine people wank to this.
Yeah.
If you wank to this, make sure you follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and the Facebooks. And if you want to send us some hate mail, a death threat, or a rant, or debate the flat Earth people even more, make sure you email us at weonlydoonetakepodcast@gmail.com. Kieran!
I feel like I just need to explain why we say for all your wanking needs.
Yeah.
A few people have just started listening and they're like, what? And I was like, well, the audience. We put a poll out a while ago.
A long time ago. Like very early into our...
I feel like we should do a new poll.
Okay. Well, you come up with two names for...
No, I'm not changing anything.
Okay. I was going to say, you are going to do something? Amazing. And Kieran, thank you so much for coming down and doing this show. It's always fun. And we will see you next...
In the NT. Next Thursday.
This comes out late, which it will.
Why do you have such little faith in me?
It needs to come out, Kieran. It needs to come out on the 11th of June 2020.
That's tomorrow.
No, it's not tomorrow. It needs to come out on Thursday, Kieran. On Thursday.
I will bet you $10.
I'm not going to bet anything, you know, because it's like you going. This is like the Kramer bet. I could do it. I'm going to make all the levels. I bet you can't. It doesn't matter if I can't. It's just that you won't. Not that you can do it, it's that you won't. Get out of my house. I'm kicking you out.